This is the moment that a lot of my subscribers have been waiting for, and that is a comparison of the Casio CT-X700, the entry level, and the cheapest CT-X of the latest Yamaha CT-X range, and making a comparison with the similarly priced Yamaha PSR-E363 arranger keyboards. The thing is that Casio has been making keyboards for a long time. I remember in the 1980s, I played with a tiny little VL1 synthesizer that was something you could fit in your pocket. It had a little sequencer and a calculator and had some really fun sounds in it, but it is really just a toy. Even when I eventually got myself a CZ-101, which is one of the very early Yamaha Casio keyboard incorporating a synthesizer kind of phase distortion technology, it just didn't feel like you can consider it as a proper, serious synthesizer keyboard that you can bring it for your gigs, you know. I mean, Casio is famous for their wrist watches. They're famous for their calculators. If I want to buy those, of course, I would just buy a Casio watch. I have a Casio G-Shock, which I think they do very, very well, and it has achieved cult success. Unfortunately, keyboards is one section that Casio has been trying really, really very hard for the last 30 years, easily, you know, since the 1980 until now, almost 30 years. But they have failed to gain traction simply because the CTK line of the Casio keyboard just didn't feel like it's well built. Yes, it is cheap. There is no doubt that the Casio keyboards are usually priced a lot more competitively than the Yamaha keyboards of similar features or functions, you know, or they would just offer you a lot more features and functions for a much lower price. But the sounds just didn't cut it. You know, their accompaniment was horrible, the styles were horrible, you know, and their sampled sounds were also very cheesy sounding. It just didn't have the fatness that Yamaha could achieve even with their very basic keyboards. But there is now a brand new sound generation system that Casio has developed, and that is the AIX sound generation system. I have heard some demos on YouTube, especially on Casio's official channel, and they sound pretty good, but we're not sure whether if the sounds has been EQ'd, and I have to have a listen to it myself on the built-in speakers and see if they measure up to the Yamaha PSR-E363. This CT-X700 goes for $175 on Amazon, and the PSR-E363 also goes for the same price. If we look at the feature list, which I will go through later on, the CT-X really just trashes the Yamaha PSR-E363. It just seems like a no-brainer that somebody with $175 should just buy the CT-X700. However, you know, it's not such a simple equation, because it's not such a simple thing as like this has more features and therefore, you know, you buy this over the Yamaha, because we need to look at the quality of the sound. Does it sound good? Does the accompaniment excites you? You know, we also need to see if the build quality is there, because after all, the Casio brand is not a brand that musicians are proud of. I don't remember seeing any serious band out there, you know, doing gigs with a Casio keyboard. Name me any top 100 Billboard songs that has a band that's performing on a Casio keyboard. You just simply don't see that, because Casio has a much limited range in terms of instruments. You look at Yamaha, they have their brass instruments, we have trumpets, saxophones, flutes. Even young children in school, when they learn the melodica, it is from Yamaha as well. The recorder, you know, as a young boy, I learned the recorder in school, and that was a Yamaha recorder. So the Yamaha heritage in music goes back a long, long way. And if you look at the Yamaha logo itself, it is that of a musical tuning fork, which really shows their roots and their seriousness in music and music instrument. Without further ado, I'm just gonna unbox this and we'll see what's up. We're gonna have a closer look at the box that the CT-X comes with. As you can see here, it says that it has 600 tones, 195 rhythms, 2.5 watt speakers on each side. It is general MIDI compliant and has USB features. It also has a touch response. Let's look at the back panel where it has a lot more features listed. It listed as having 61 piano keys, 48 notes polyphony, the new AIX sound source. We also have a dedicated piano and organ button, a couple of reverbs and choruses, auto harmonization of the right hand notes, arpeggiators, 195 rhythms. We have music presets, one touch presets, 160 song bank tunes, and you can expand it with external songs and record it and download it with up to 10 songs. There's a metronome, lesson, chord book, also a MIDI recorder. There's 6 tracks, up to 5 user songs. You can save registration setups or patches up to 8 banks times 4 sets, which gives you 32 setups. The input and outputs, we have audio in, phones, output pedal, USB to host, and stereo speakers. And as it says over here, it is now made in China, even though it's a Japanese design product. And I'm going to turn it on for the very first time. Wow, I like the screen. The screen is the same as a PSR-E363 screen, a white backlit rather than the orangey color. And you can see it is very, very legible, although it's very reflective. You can look at my ceiling fan up there. Very clean, very clear. I like the screen. So let's have a look at all the buttons on the left side of the panel. You've got the red power button, you've got the volume control, you've got the rhythm and sound controllers. First one is to hit the intro, and we've got the normal rhythm, and then we've got variation as well as fill-ins for both of them, which is quite unlike the Yamaha. The Yamaha has only one single button for both, the variation and the main. So this has a lot better control. We have the ending, which also acts as a sync start. We have a synchro stop, start-stop button, as well as to turn on and off your accompaniment. And if you press and hold it, you can trigger the music preset function. And as a song controller, you can use it to repeat your song. You can specify a small portion of the song to repeat continuously, especially if you're learning. You can rewind and fast forward the song, pause, play, stop, as well as select different parts of the song. Let's look at the center panel here. We've got a dedicated piano and organ. So if you want to straight away go to all the piano sounds or want to go into the organ section category, you just press this button. Wow, we have got a freeze button here at this price point. Wow, because the freeze function is not available on the Yamaha except for the S series, the S onwards, you know, S670. And we've got different bangs here. You can select the different bangs, right? Bang 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and back to 1. And in each bang, you can store 4 buttons. It's a lot cleaner interface right now. Very, very logically laid out. I really like how they have actually arranged that. And we've got the categories button. You can go into the piano category, the electric piano category, organ category, and you can very quickly go into the different categories. I like that. The PSR-E363 don't have that. You can only have to use the individual numbers to select the sounds. And to press this, we've got the tone, the different sounds. And to select the rhythm, you press this. And to select recorded songs as well as preset songs, you can press the song bang. Metronome, and if you press and hold it, you can specify the beat of the metronome. The tempo and tap tempo function is there. I like that. Function button. We've got the numeric keypad. Okay, I don't really like this where it's dual function, because sometimes if you're trying to press left and right and you like accidentally press beyond that and it jumps to something else. Even yes and no, why can't they just make one more additional panel like yes and no, left and right, exit, enter, and leave that numeric keypad alone, right? You've got the split and the layer, and if you hold down the split button, you can specify the split point. I like that, very, very convenient to use. And if you press it down, you can actually up or down an octave. Next, we're looking at the back panel. We've got the USB port here. Unfortunately, it doesn't take a USB thumb drive because this is a direct USB host to computer connection. And it's really unfortunate that Casio cannot make a USB to audio. It's such a shame. I think that would make it a much better product. We've got here a pedal jack. I really like this pedal jack because it not only accepts a sustain pedal, but you can also use it to trigger soft and sostenuto, as well as to trigger rhythm start stop as well. And that is something the Yamaha PSR-E363 cannot do. And we've also got an audio in, so that you can plug in your media player and play along with background music. And here we have a headphones jack, which is also the output jack. Right, now we're gonna trigger the demo. For the demo lovers, unfortunately, unlike the Yamaha that has like loads and loads of demo, the Casio has, I believe, just one demo tune. And there you have it. That's the demo tune. So the other thing is that the CT-X700 also has this cloth-like material over the speaker casing, which I'm not a fan of because it's going to attract a lot of dust. As you can see, it's new, but it has already attracted quite a lot of dust on here. The finishing is a matte finish. It does look kind of cheap, doesn't look as premium as the PSR-E363. I like the E363 better because this part here is matte, but here is kind of shiny, and I'm not a fan of that. I like the screen though, as I've said earlier. Let's look at some of the functions. So one of the functions is that there is a touch response, and actually 3 types as well as off, which is the same as the PSR-E363. 48 note polyphony, which is the same as the PSR-E363. However, there are 600 tones here compared to 574 tones. E363 has fewer tones, but Yamaha does have quite a lot of iconic sounds, which I'm not sure if Casio can beat in that department. Let's see if the AIX sound system surprises us later on when I do a sound comparison. And there's 195 rhythms. Yeah, unlike the PSR-E363, which only has 165 rhythm. Next, we look at things like the reverb here. For the reverb, the Casio CT-X700 has 20 reverb function, whereas the Yamaha PSR-E363 only has 12. And for the chorus, this keyboard, the Casio has 10, whereas PSR-E363 only has 5. But, you know, I'm sure the market for this is that a lot of the users don't actually play around with the effects like chorus and reverb so much. One good thing I like about this is that the song recording is actually a 6-track recorder. You can record 5 songs in 6 tracks, whereas the E363 can only record 2 tracks. The auto harmonize section, harmonizer, the E363 has more types. E363 has 26 types, and for the arpeggiator, the E363 has 150 types, whereas the Casio only has 100 arpeggiators and 12 auto harmonizers. I do also like the fact that we can save 32 patches rather than the Yamaha, which is only saving 9. And this is a lot easier to access because for the PSR-E363, you must press the memory button and then followed by the number, which is a double step. Whereas this one, you can access the registration immediately, right? Which is a lot better, just like in the PSR-E463. So it accepts 6 AAA batteries, and there's a yeah, like I said, I like the pedal jack because there is option for sustain, sostenuto, soft pedal, as well as rhythm trigger. The output of the speaker is the same as the PSR-E363, which is 2.5 watts on each side. This keyboard, this Casio keyboard is lighter, is 4.3 kilos, whereas the PSR-E363 is actually 4.6 kilos. So that's all for today's unboxing and quick impressions. I haven't run through it yet, but once I play with the sound, I will make another video with 2 keyboards side by side so that you can hear the difference. Until then, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell button and you get my latest video when I come out with it. Bye-bye.